In the modern footballing amphitheatre, a top-tier club is in a perpetual state of becoming. The final whistle of one match is merely the starting pistol for the intellectual inquest into the next. For Mikel Arteta's Arsenal, this week has served as a fascinating public exhibition of this very process. A team evolving not on the secluded training pitches of London Colney, but under the harsh, unforgiving battles of the Premier League and the Champions League. This is a team in the throes of a profound tactical metamorphosis, transitioning from a side with a singular, often predictable, identity to a multifaceted, chameleonic entity capable of posing a multitude of strategic problems. The 3-0 victory over Nottingham Forest was the domestic proof of concept, a controlled environment where new relationships could be forged. Arteta's post-match comments were telling. Another positive thing was the new relationships that we are building and the way they are connecting. They are giving us a lot of information at the moment to make sure we use it in the right way. Days later, this nascent evolution was stress-tested in the cauldron of San Mames, a European crucible of the highest order. His reflections after the hard-fought victory against Athletic Club were those of a manager acutely aware of the developmental stage his team is in. In the second half, we were much more fluent, dominant, and looked much more of a threat, and at the end, the substitutes made the impact for us to win the game. These two fixtures, viewed in conjunction, provide a compelling diptych of Arsenal's current state, a team learning to harness a new and formidable depth, a squad where every player, as Arteta insists, will play for sure. This is an analysis of that evolution, a deconstruction of the new patterns emerging from the machine, and a projection of what this new tactical plasticity might mean for the ultimate test, a looming showdown with Manchester City.
The victory over Forest was far more than a routine 3 points. It was a showcase of the new Arsenal nexus. The performance was a tapestry woven with threads of directness, intricate combination play, and moments of individual brilliance. We saw the first true fruits of the summer recruitment in a competitive setting. The opening goal, a stunning volley from Martin Zubimendi, was a product of sustained pressure from set pieces delivered with venom by Noni. The second was a lightning strike from the future, a raking long pass from Riccardo Calafiori, a sublime first-time cross from Abere Eze, and a clinical finish from Victor Gyökeres. This was a new kind of Arsenal goal, vertical, devastatingly efficient, and executed by a trio of new signings. Throughout the match, the evidence of intense work on the training ground was palpable. There were sequences of Gyökeres dropping deep to link play, laying the ball off to Mikel Merino before spinning in behind. We witnessed fluid one-touch moves involving the prodigious Ethan Nwaneri and the perpetually dangerous Noni himself. These were not yet perfected, automated routines, but rather the visible, on-field evidence of a team unlearning old habits and embracing a new, more varied attacking grammar. New combinations that were being worked on the training ground were visible during the games. An early move saw Calafiori combine with Eze, whose clever dummy allowed Gyökeres to lay the ball off for Mikel Merino. We saw Gyökeres dropping deep to link play, his layoff to Merino on the left, showcasing a developing understanding. Another fluid sequence involved Mosquera finding Ethan, who then released Noni before threading a pass for Zubimendi, whose final ball to Eze was just cut out. Big Gabby was seen bypassing the midfield entirely, fizzing a pass directly into Gyökeres, who would lay it off and spin in behind, a clear pattern designed to disorganise a set defence. These are not yet a series of perfected routines, but rather the visible, on-field evidence of a team unlearning old habits and embracing a new, more varied attacking grammar. It was a controlled experiment that yielded a successful result, providing a crucial platform of confidence before the trip to the Basque Country.
What an amazing place to play football. I must say that is one of the best atmospheres I've been in, Arteta admitted post-match. He wasn't wrong. The home supporters at San Mamés, starved of Champions League football for 11 years, turned their stadium into a deafening vortex of noise and intimidation. For the opening 25 minutes, Arsenal were tested, forced to withstand a storm of direct play and intense duels. This was the crucible. The early exchanges were a testament to the team's newfound defensive resilience, even without the totemic William Saliba. Christian Mosquera, a 21-year-old playing with the composure of a man a decade his senior, was flawless. His ability to not only use his recovery pace, but to dribble out from the back and pick progressive passes under duress was a sight to behold. Alongside him, the fullbacks, Jurrien Timber and Calafiori, were magnificent, shining in both their defensive duties and their attacking forays. As the half unfolded, Arsenal began to assert control. The probing down the right flank involving Eze, Timber and Noni was a consistent theme. Gyökeres grew into the game, his trademark bursts down the left channel causing problems, though the final connection remained elusive. This first half was a portrait of tactical maturity, weathering the initial onslaught, imposing a degree of control through possession, and beginning to create chances without ever losing defensive structure. It was a far cry from the European away performances of years gone by.
The second half at San Mamés was a masterclass in modern squad management. Arsenal emerged a much more threatening entity, but the game remained deadlocked. Then Arteta played his hand. On 65 minutes, Leandro Trossard replaced Gyökeres. 6 minutes later, Gabriel Martinelli was introduced for Eze. These were not like-for-like substitutions, they were profound tactical shifts. The change from Gyökeres to Trossard was a switch from a direct channel-running spearhead to a cerebral false nine, a player who links play and drags defenders out of position. The swap from Eze to Martinelli was an exchange of a central creator, a lockpicker for stubborn defenses, for a vertical space-invading threat designed to punish a high line. The impact was immediate and devastating. Just 36 seconds after his introduction, Martinelli latched on to a brilliant flick from Trossard in the center circle. With one perfect touch, he was away, sprinting 50 yards before displaying the icy coolness that has become his trademark in Spain to slot the ball home. It was a goal that vindicated the substitutions entirely. The second goal was the denouement, the roles reversed. Martinelli, now the creator, cut the ball back for Trossard, whose deflected shot sealed a historic victory, leading to Arsenal's 6th consecutive win against Spanish opposition in the European Cup, a new record. This victory was achieved with Saka, Odegaard, Saliba and Havertz all absent. It was a resounding testament to Arteta's core belief. Leading someone out hurts me, but I have to make decisions to win matches. Everyone will play for sure. The depth is no longer just a safety net, it is a primary tactical weapon, allowing Arsenal to change its shape, style and threat profile mid-game. Across these two matches, several new, distinct patterns have emerged. Let's have a look at them. First, the direct switch. The long diagonal switch of play to an isolated Noni on the right wing has become a frequent and effective outlet, designed to leverage his supreme one-on-one ability. Second, the Gyökeres conundrum. The team is still learning how to best service its new number 9. Attempts to play direct balls into his path are increasing, but the timing and cohesion are a work in progress. His lateral interchanges with Eze also suggest a fluid, less rigid front line is being developed. Next is the situational wingers. The Eze versus Martinelli dynamic is perhaps the most exciting tactical evolution. Arteta now possesses the perfect tool for two different scenarios. Eze, the intricate dribbler and short passer, to unpick a low block. Martinelli, the explosive runner, to terrorize a team that presses high and leaves space in behind. And finally, the fourth one is the ball-playing defenders as press breakers. Mosquera's performance at San Mames was a case study in modern defending. His ability to carry the ball past the first line of the press is an invaluable asset, turning a defensive situation into the foundation of an attack. The Arsenal of the past few seasons, for all its brilliance, could be accused of having a singular, dominant mode of operation. The current iteration is something entirely different. It is becoming a tactical chameleon, capable of changing its colours to suit its environment. It can control a game through possession, as it did for long spells against Athletic Club de Bilbao, or it can strike with devastating verticality, as demonstrated by the second goal against Forest. It can unpick a lock with Eze's guile, or break it down with Martinelli's speed. It can rely on its established defensive structure, or unleash its substitutes to alter the course of a match entirely. This brings us to the precipice of the season's statement game, the visit of Manchester City. In the past, this fixture was often about survival, about trying to match a superior machine. Now the dynamic has shifted. Arsenal are equipped to pose City multiple distinct problems. Will Arteta opt for Eze to try and control the midfield battle and provide an outlet between the lines? Or will he unleash Martinelli from the start, gambling on the prospect of catching City's high line on the transition? The direct ball to Gyökeres, while still developing, presents a route to bypass City's suffocating midfield press entirely. The ability of the backline, be it Saliba or Mosquera, to play through pressure will be tested to its absolute limit. And perhaps most crucially, the power from the bench means Arsenal can start with one tactical plan and pivot to another in the final 30 minutes, a luxury they have rarely possessed in this fixture. The evolution is undeniable. The raw materials are in place, and the on-field evidence is compelling. The team is no longer just a well-oiled machine, it is a sophisticated, adaptable organism. The clash with Manchester City will be the ultimate examination of this new, multiple threat-possessing identity. Beyond the on-field action, Arteta's management was a masterclass in foresight. Be it the decision to rest Declan Rice versus Forest, who had started both of England's recent internationals, or bring on Martinelli versus Athletic Club, with a solid victory in San Mames, or the upcoming clash with Manchester City, managing the squad's minutes is not a luxury, but a necessity. Substitutions in the second half are a testament to the newfound depth that allows for such proactive rotation. Meanwhile, shout out to Raya, who has quietly recorded his 42nd clean sheet in his 100th appearance, a quiet nod to the continuing defensive excellence that underpins this entire project. On the surface, these were made to look like routine victories, but beneath the surface, these were deeply significant events. These were the games where new signings shone, where nascent attacking patterns were trialed in a competitive environment, and where the team demonstrated a new level of tactical maturity. The teething issues remain. Not every combination fructified, not every pass found its target, but the blueprint is becoming clearer with each passing week. The prospect of a fully synchronized attack, featuring the directness of Noni, the maverick genius of Eze, the clinical finishing of Gyökeres, and the precocious intelligence of Ethan Nwaneri, is a tantalizing one. The victories were not the finished articles, but crucial, promising milestones on the journey towards a new, more potent, and far more unpredictable attacking identity. Thanks for joining in. This is the Arsenal Blueprint, and you were watching the Blueprint incarnate. A big thanks to the community as we've reached the 2,000 subscriber mark. Keep liking, sharing, and the rest. The games are coming thick and fast. We'll be back soon. Until then, have a great one, and come on the Arsenal.